Hello, my friends. I am happy to see you. This week I had a chance to talk to some of you about these things that I found out on my walk and in my house. And I first found a bunch of seeds. These are all very green. These are kind of fresher. These are maple seeds. They come from a maple tree. And I found some other ones later after I saw them. These are more dry. And then these are quite dry here. So I wanted to share some of the leaf shapes. I found some different maple trees in my neighborhood. And you can see with all of the leaf shapes, they're a little pointy. This one is from a tall maple tree in my yard. This just is starting to develop the leaves on the tree. And you see how pointy these leaves are? So we call these maple trees. That's the name in English, and they have different names. I believe the tree in my yard is a silver maple. But scientists all over the world, they like to be able to talk about trees. So when botanists talk about trees, they all want to agree on the same name. So they have Latin names for everything. And the genus for maple is Acer, and that means like sharp or pointy. And you can see why maple trees got that name, because their leaves are sharp and pointy. So we have been talking a lot about seeds in our group class, and some of you may have these cards that show different kinds of seeds. You can look at them with your mom and dad and learn some more about seeds in your home and in your neighborhood. I hope you will look and find some seeds. So these maple seeds, sometimes they have some fun names. Sometimes people call them helicopters, or they're called whirligigs. And if you hold them up high outside, they're going to twirl or whirl like a whirligig. So they're very fun to play with outside. And I've been seeing lots and lots in my neighborhood. I'm sure you'll be able to find some if you go out on a walk. So they have this part that's called the wing, and we can take that. And if you want, and it works well if you use the dried ones, you can take apart the seed. You can take some of the covering off and find the seed inside. So in a month or so, we'll probably see a lot of shoots of maple trees. So a lot of seeds, you can take them in half. And I'm just using my fingernail. I was able to do it the other day with my family and with some of our classmates. And we can see the inside. So inside seeds, sometimes there's a little bump. I think we can see it a little bit here. Very, very tiny bump at the bottom of some seeds, and that is called the embryo, and that is the very beginning of a plant. So just like in humans, when humans are small and haven't started to develop into much of anything, we call it an embryo, and it's the same thing for a plant. We call it an embryo. This other part, the big part of the seed, is called the endosperm. And the endosperm helps to provide some food and nutrients around the seed, or around the embryo, when the seed finds a good place to grow. So maple trees, maple seeds, they like to grow in dirt. So if a seed is blown by the wind, that's how these whirligigs, these helicopters, are dispersed, is by just either gravity falling down or by the wind to different places. If they find a good spot, they already have some nutrients to begin with because a seed has the endosperm. Just for fun, I wanted to share some other things about maple trees, because maple trees have something that many people like, and that is maple syrup. So Maple syrup is very popular in my house. In fact, one of my family members will just pour a little bit of maple syrup into a cup and just drink it like a fun drink. Not too much because it's very sweet. So you may know that in the springtime is the time that farmers will collect maple sap. And it's very interesting when it comes out. So farmers know they can take a piece of metal, a special spout, and put it into the tree trunk, and the sap will start running up the tree. And because of that metal piece, they can make the sap go into buckets. And at that time, it is clear and it's not very sweet. It looks like water. It doesn't taste perfectly like water. It has a little bit of a taste, but not a strong flavor at all. And then people prepare it into maple syrup. And I don't know, you can tell some of these have slightly different color variations. And they have to basically cook it down for a while until the syrup gets nice and sweet and concentrated. So many of us like to have maple syrup on things like pancakes and waffles, and some people like to use it to make candy. That can be very delicious too. So I hope that you will go on an exploration in your neighborhood and find some maple seeds. And I hope that you will have a chance to take some of them apart too, so that you can see the endosperm at least, and you might be able to see the little bump that is the embryo. So happy searching.